Dan Crenshaw seems to be jumping on the Trump train. He's definitely not on the Liz Cheney train anymore. He was there in Wyoming hanging out with Elon Musk and Kevin McCarthy. But Liz Cheney, we saw her. She just lost and face planted in one of the most epic election failures of all time. One of those things that you never really get to forget or live down, kind of as a lifetime defining failure. Liz Cheney still milking it up, just trying to get out there and capture the limelight by getting her face in front of the media. Here is Liz Cheney, and she's out talking to this fella over on ABC. And they're saying, Liz, you're America's hero. Lady Liberty. What's your advice for us now that you've suffered a catastrophic historical defeat?
What does your defeat say about Trump's hold on the Republican Party?
I think, one, it says that people continue to believe the lie. They continue to believe what he's saying, which is very dangerous. I think it also tells you that large portions of our party, including the leadership of our party, both at a state level in Wyoming.
What? Okay, now I just lost that audio.
And that, we really have got to decide whether or not we're going to be a party based on substance and policy, or whether we're going to remain, as so many of our party are today, in the grips of a dangerous former president.
Yeah, okay, the audio did die on that one. I'm not sure what that one was about. But okay, so that's Liz Cheney, right, saying that everybody is just a big liar. Yeah, and the audio did cut out. What the heck was that all about? I don't know what that was about. I heard it too. But okay, Liz Cheney is out saying that there was a bunch of big liars out there who are interfering with American democracy. And I came across this clip, which was also a very interesting one. And this is 10 minutes of Democrats who were out there talking, hemming and hawing about election interference.
You can run the best campaign. You can even become the nominee. And you can have the election stolen from you.
Oh, 10 minutes of this. Watch.
Trump knows he's an illegitimate president.
The president, or elect, although legally elected, is not legitimate.
I don't see this.
Waddling Nadler.
President-elect as a legitimate president.
You said you believe that Russia's interference altered the outcome of the election.
I do. We have a president who, if in fact it is proven, has been assisted by the Russians and may in fact not be a legitimate president.
The one thing that Trump is fearful of when it comes to his being president is that finally we will see how illegitimate his victory actually was.
What?
I have an objection.
I object to the 15 votes from the state of North Carolina. I object because people are horrified.
He's an illegitimate president.
Do you believe Trump is a legitimate president?
What I believe is that there's no question that the outcome of this election was affected by the Russian interference.
There absolutely is a cloud of illegitimacy.
So that legitimacy is in question, yes.
So that was a very tainted election. And in that sense, it's illegitimate.
Why do you think the president is going to such great lengths to essentially prove that he beat you?
Because he knows he didn't. He knows he's an illegitimate president.
Oh,
Stolen
my
email.
goodness.
Stolen drone.
Wow. So, yeah, you can see, right? The list goes on and on and on. So this is something that has happened, after every single election, almost every single time. But Donald Trump is the only person who merits a January 6th investigation that lasts months and months and months, that warrants criminal prosecutions of all of his top advisors, and the list goes on and on and on. So Liz Cheney is out there after just a massive failure. And Dan Crenshaw, somebody who, we've been a little bit critical of from time to time, is, out there sort of backpedaling a little bit. Remember, some time ago, Dan Crenshaw posted this on Twitter. This was back on January 13th, 2021. He says, in response to Liz Cheney there were calls for her to resign. Remember, after January 6th, she came out and started running her yapper. And then people were saying she should resign for being so, not a Republican. And Dan Crenshaw came out and he said, listen to me, America. Let's get some truth on the record. Liz Cheney has a hell of a lot more backbone than most and is a principled leader with a fierce intellect. She will continue to be a much needed leader in the conference with my full support. We can disagree without tearing each other apart. And many people were sort of on him about that. And he sort of said a bunch of nice things about her after the fact. He was sort of, she's a nice person and all this. And meanwhile, we're watching her make up a bunch of stuff during these fake January 6th Select Committee hearings. But after she loses in just a catastrophic defeat, now Dan Crenshaw hits the Instagram waves. And here's what he said after her loss.
From some trolls on the internet that I endorsed Liz Cheney in her primary election. Obviously not true. Now, what these people are doing is spreading around a very old tweet, like over a year and a half ago.
I just read it
nice
for
things
you.
About Liz. Back when we all supported her, voted for her for conference chair, and then she went off the deep end and we all stopped supporting her.
She did go off the deep end,
I was in
that's
Jackson
for
Hole
sure.
this week, but with Kevin McCarthy, who was supporting Liz's primary opponent, and then we congratulated her. So the truth here is that there's people on the internet who lie to you, and they continue to lie to you, and they especially like lying about me because they know that you'll click on it. So whoever shared that with you and took the date off, cropped it so you couldn't see it, couldn't get the context, whoever did that, unfollow them. They're lying to you now, and they'll keep lying to you.
I just read you the whole stinking thing. There's the date on it. All right, there's the date. I put the date on it. There it is. January 13th. I said it. All right, so I don't know what the date has anything to do with it, but okay. So I guess, all right, so saying that I guess it's a recent thing and she's gone mental, so he's not in favor of her anymore. Okay, well, so he bails on her, and you know, he was a sort of an anti-Trumper there for a while, and then now he's sort of joining Team Trump. He was sort of Team Liz Cheney. Now he's Team Trump, and he broke Jake Tapper's heart over the weekend. Jake Tapper just wanted to bring him in here. He knows he's a friendly Republican. He says, listen, Dan, you know, you're a former Navy SEAL. You're very, very intelligent also because you hate Trump like I hate Trump. I'm intelligent. You hate Trump. I hate, therefore we're both intelligent. Perfect. All right. Welcome to my show. Dan, can you tell me, sir, since you're so intelligent, how you feel about Trumpers castigating the FBI and belittling them and all of their incredible work? Listen to Dan.
Let's start with the fact that you're a former Navy SEAL. You have depended on the intelligence community in very real, tangible ways to protect your life and those of your brothers. As someone who understands just how precious intelligence can be, I'm wondering if it bothers you that there was apparently
get ready for it
classified information in an unsecure location at Mar-a-Lago. We know that one box was labeled TSSCI, that's top secret, sensitive, compartmented information.
Yeah. Well, look, you know me, Jake, and I'm not one to withhold criticism and even make my own side mad. I want to get to the truth. But I will be honest with you here. It's hard to justify what the Department of Justice did here, in my opinion. And here's why. Here's what it really boils down to. It's not a question that it's bad to have classified material in a non-SCIF environment, right? So that's a non-secret compartmentalized infrastructure there. That's wrong. But there's ways to mitigate that. There's ways to resolve that issue. And I still haven't seen any evidence that Trump was even asked to give these documents back. He's been cooperating with them on these issues for a while now, for months. And so why take it to this extreme extent? And I think that's why you're seeing so much backlash from Republicans. You're seeing everyone coalesce. It doesn't matter what side of the issue.
Yeah, you are.
Trump.
Yes, you are. That's for sure.
Coalesce around this one because it does seem unjust, and there does seem to be a long history of loss of credibility at the Department of Justice at the hands of Democrats, and I think people are rightfully frustrated about that.
I think well, first of all, I think there are a lot of Hillary Clinton folks who would argue that, you know, they don't think that they were treated well by the FBI.
Absolutely. So they just get...
Wait, Hillary Clinton folks that said they weren't treated well by the FBI. Did Hillary have her house raided by the FBI?
To the point, though.
So, but...
did the audio go bad again? No, here it is.
Let's start with the fact that you're a former Navy SEAL.
Oh, we already got that part.
You have depended
on with Trump. You've seen a lot coalesce around this one because it does seem unjust. And there does seem to be a long history of loss of credibility at the Department of Justice at the hands of Democrats. And I think people are rightfully frustrated about that.
I think first of all, I think there are a lot of Hillary Clinton folks.
Yeah, so Hillary Clinton voters. Okay, so Dan Crenshaw seems like he's got some problems with the DOJ investigation with the FBI invading Trump's residence. And I think rightfully so. There are issues with that. And it's very interesting. As Dan Crenshaw said, people are starting to coalesce around Trump. Even Dan Crenshaw, who used to be Team Cheney, now Team Trump. And we've got a lot more to follow and to cover on this.